Hey, and welcome to Achieve with Carolina Live. I'm Carolina Romaniuk, child and family sleep specialist and founder of Achieve with Carolina and co-founder of Your Child Sleep Manual coming out this early summer. So exciting! Yay! So tonight I'm going to be chit-chatting about, hey Jane! We're going to be talking about how to write sleep plans. So have you been wondering on starting sleep training, or have you tried it and you kind of, hey Angelica, and you kind of don't know really where to go from there? So tonight I really wanted to walk you over how I write sleep plans, right? Just give me 1 second, I want to get something for you guys so I can show you. Okay, so everyone that's signing on, good evening. I hope you had a fabulous weekend, and tonight's going to be something really special. I'm going to be sharing with you how I write sleep plans for you guys, and I'm going to kind of walk you through a 10-step process just to kind of keep it nice and simple. And you know, if you have any questions, or if you've tried to put one together yourself and you really didn't know kind of where to begin, hey Ala, just let me know in the comments below, and we'll get started. So also, if you know of anyone that is trying to start to sleep train and they really don't know where to begin, make sure to highlight their name on this video so they can catch on and they can start watching it at the beginning. I don't really feel cozy enough to get people coming in towards the end. It's nice for them to be with us live, just like how you guys are right now, and it'd mean the world to me, and I know it would mean the world to them if you can put their name right in the comments below and just share. It takes 2 seconds to do that. Just click the share button, and if you like what I'm going to be talking about, make sure you like it. Cool? Awesome, guys. Let me just take a sip of water. So while we're waiting, we're getting a couple more people on. I kind of wanted to do something really interesting with the beginning of these videos. So I wanted to do something that I stay consistent on. And you know how I always talk about that we always need to stay consistent on when we're sleep training or when we're using any type of approaches. Hey Luba, I wanted to start these videos off with a daily basis of you writing down in the comments, what are you grateful for today? Every day it's going to be something totally different. So I want to hear from you guys. Type it in the comments below. We're all here together. What are you grateful for today? What amazingness happened today? Maybe something really cool happened at work. Maybe you got a raise, a promotion. Maybe your little one just started walking or talking or sitting up. Hey Nicole, what has happened today in your life that you are beyond grateful for? Something, you know, it could be something so small that maybe you cooked a meal that you haven't, you know, that you've been putting off in a long time. Hey Ala, so today what I'm grateful for is the fact that I started working with Blue Sleep and helping adults learn how to sleep. It's really difficult for us to kind of tune out our brains at night, and I'm really grateful for that opportunity to learn more, to educate myself. And I am also unbelievably grateful and humble for the fact that I have so many of you wonderful parents that are there right now taking the time out of your evening instead of watching TV and lying in your beds to actually tune in and listen to me talk. So it means the world to me. Thank you so much for that, and I am beyond grateful for you. So what else are you guys grateful for? Hey Anna, I love how many people we're having that are showing up right now. Luba says a random stranger came to help outside. Oh, that's awesome. So you're grateful for that. So everyone that's tuning in right now, I want to begin our videos from now on. I'm going to be asking you one question right before we begin. What are you grateful for? And I don't think Luba and myself are the only ones that are grateful for something. So let's have one more person or two more people, awesomeness, type in something that they're grateful for. Even just sitting on the couch and the fact that you have a beautiful warm home, or the fact that you took a 10-minute shower, hot shower today as opposed to 5 minutes. You know, something simple. Once you write it down, you make it a little, you make the world know of your gratefulness, and everything else kind of falls into place. Victoria, you're grateful for the fresh, breezy day we had today. Yes, I know, it's awesome. I can't wait for summer already to begin. So the weather is getting gorgeous. And let's get one more person. Come on, join in. What are you grateful for? Don't be shy. Okay, so I guess you guys are shy. Keep it to yourself then. But make sure that you say, I am grateful for, and fill that in before you go to sleep, okay? It makes a huge difference for your night and kind of a closing for your beautiful day. Allah says that you're grateful for your kids. I know everyone is grateful for the kids. No, but that's beautiful. Saying it out loud and not just thinking it in your head are two totally different things. So I always journal right before I go to bed, at least I try and do that, to get my thoughts from my head onto paper, and it helps me to kind of block out that busyness, that chattering that keeps going in your head of, oh my God, I gotta do this tomorrow, oh my God, I gotta do that, oh my God, I forgot that this morning, how am I gonna include that into my schedule tomorrow or the week after, or blah 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 blah. So Allah, you're not shy. Awesome. So okay, so I love these everyone that wrote what they're grateful for. Now let's begin. We got a bunch of viewers on. Hey everyone. So just to kind of recap, if you're new to the broadcast, I'm Carolina Romaniuk, child and family sleep specialist and founder of Achieve with Carolina and co-founder of Your Child Sleep Manual, coming out this summer. I'm going to be giving you guys more details on that when the time gets closer to it, but I'm totally excited about it. So tonight's video, what we're going to be talking about, hey Sagal, hey, oh, you're welcome, thank you so much. So tonight what we're going to be talking about is how to write a sleep plan. Right? It's super duper important for you to know the process of it and how to actually write one correctly so you're getting the results that you want, and not just telling yourself, hey, I feel like today starting to sleep train. Let's see how that goes. I'll wing it, and then if it doesn't go that well tomorrow, I'll put it to the side and maybe I'll start another time. No, we don't do that. If you're going to be dedicated to sleep training, you need to have a plan. You need to have a set plan put into place for you to achieve your goals. There's no winging it in sleep training. It's either you do it and you do it properly, or you don't do it at all. So make sure that when you are starting to sleep train, that you are ready, that you are committed towards it, and you have a time frame in when you're going to implement the sleep training. Usually it's a minimum of 2 weeks to 1 month. I work a minimum of 1 month with the family to make sure that we get everything solidified and the foundation is set, so there's nothing that kind of gets into the mix of it. You know, the kids get sick, people go on vacation, things like that start to happen. So we don't want that, we don't want anything to break up that component of it. So I'm gonna show you something special. Only my clients see this. See this? This is my Torah. I call it Torah because I'm Jewish, it's not my Bible. So in here I write my sleep plans. I love this book. It's like I worship it, and I get a new journal every time, you know, when obviously it's finished, but this is mine. This is where I write my sleep plans. So I suggest you get a journal or get a little notebook. Keep something that you won't lose and it doesn't have papers that fly all over the place, okay? So this is mine. This is where I write my sleep plans for all of my clients to achieve their goals. Now, in there, I start off with my program, which is the Sleep Trifecta, and it has 3 components in it. Are we still good? Okay, cool. So the first part is sleeping at the right time, then the right amount of sleep at the right time, and in the right place. Ali, you're saying, where did you get that? It's so cute. I actually got, where did I get it? Target. Yeah, it was like $4. Yeah, I get all my journals there because they're just so cute and they're cheap, and I read a lot, so I need a lot of journals. My whole closet, I don't even have shoes there. I just have books galore and journals galore. So yeah, so going back to my program, so it is the right amount of sleep at the right time and then in the right place. I break it down into those components. If you want to know a little bit more on that, you can go onto my website, achievewithcarolina.com, and you click in how we work together, and I go down the whole program listing of it if you want to get the breakdown of it. But tonight, what I wanted to talk to you about are just 10 simple steps that you can use yourself in creating your own sleep plan, right? We can go more into detail on the sleep trifecta later on if you guys want to. Just give me a thumbs up on that and I can go more into detail in it. But tonight, right now, what I really wanted to go through are just 10 simple steps on how you would create your own sleep plan. So sleep training a child is never easy, right? Anything with children isn't easy. You're always getting some sort of a protest, and the protesting is always crying. You won't really get them talking to you and telling you, I hate this, I don't like this. That only happens when they get older. But most of the time, when they're, 24 months and younger, you're not going to get verbal communication through them. You're going to get protesting. So you should go into this understanding that whatever approach you have with your little one right now, once you create change, any type of change, doesn't matter what it is, you're going to have results within protests. And the first week is the most intense. So kind of have your mentality set in that capacity that, okay, this is going to be hard work, but I have a plan and I'm going to stick to it. And then this is what I'm going to do. So the first one is make sure that you are well informed about baby sleep. What that means is you have to know how much sleep your child needs. And you can either PM me, I can tell you on that part, or you can go on to the American Academy of Pediatrics. They have a list of how much each child with their age range needs total sleep. So you want to make sure that you're keeping a diary and that your little one is getting within the area range of how much sleep that they totally need. So that's one. Two is you need to pick a sleep coaching method, right? There's so many of them out there, but you need to pick one that one that complements your parental philosophy and your child's behavior. It is super duper important to understand how your child reacts to change. If they get more antsy when you are entering the room, or if you're trying to calm them down, it pisses them off more, then I would suggest to use a more direct approach where you take less action being in the room. If you are using something that is very gradual, such as your little one is bed sharing with you, they're sleeping in the same bed, or if you're breastfeeding on a consistent basis and that is how you put your little one to sleep, then I would suggest using a really gradual approach. Now understand two things. One is direct approaches such as cry it out intervals or Ferber doesn't mean that it would be a quick fix, okay? Thanks for liking. It doesn't mean that it's a quick fix. What it means is that two things, you can either rip off the Band-Aid really quickly, and some kids the method can work really easy, or it can backfire on you. And when it does backfire, that means that if you're putting your child to sleep really gradually right now, meaning that they're on the breast and that's how they fall asleep, or they need to be rocked, or they need to have your body touching theirs, such as sleeping in the same bed, and you use a direct approach like cry it out, most cases it doesn't really work. It backfires on you really bad because your child is not used to that. So what I recommend is using what you are doing right now and finding a method that complements what you're doing right now, but you add an exit strategy to it. And that's what I help in. to add that exit strategy in it, right? You don't want to start from what you are doing right now into something completely brand new that your child doesn't understand or has never even been engaged in. You want to do something where you're connected with them and you have an exit strategy. Hey Yana, thank you for joining. So we're getting an awesome turnout tonight. Recap of what we're talking about is I'm going through the 10 steps in creating your own sleep plan. And I'm going to go through the steps in how I put my sleep plans together for clients. So the first one was make sure that you are well informed on how much sleep your little one needs. Either you have an infant or if you have a toddler. Understanding how much sleep they need is totally important on that part. And it makes a huge difference. If their sleep is not balanced during the day and at night, then you know that's why you're getting night wakings. So understanding that is your first part. The second one is picking a sleep coaching method, as we just went through that process. The third one is getting rid of all sleep associations. So that would mean pacifiers. If you're constantly going in the room and replugging the baby with the pacifier, that means rocking, that means feeding on a consistent basis. If your child should not be fed at night, usually after 9 months, they don't need to be fed unless there's a medical need for that. If you need to sleep with your little one in the same bed, if you need to sit by them, by their bed or by their crib the entire time while they're going to sleep, or if they wake up in the middle of the night, you have to go to that position. So any type of sleep association, you want to create a plan, and how are you going to eliminate that and create, instead of those associations, a healthy way for them to sleep independently, right? So next, 4, make sure your child's schedule is age appropriate. That's super important. You also want to make sure that you are implementing naps for the schedule. Don't have them skip naps. Implement them. It's really important. Naps play a huge role. They're not just there for us to chill out and for us to, catch up on Real Housewives. It's for your kids to actually grow. First nap in the morning is mental restoration. Second nap in the afternoon is physical restoration. And if they have a third nap, that's just a bridge to hold them over up until bedtime. So there's an actual reason why your little one needs naps. And it's super important to make sure that you create that environment for them to get the proper naps. If you guys are liking what I'm telling you, please like, share, also give me love. This is super important because creating a sleep plan, a lot of people start it and they never finish it. And it's because they don't know what to put together. They don't know how to put a plan together. So if you know someone that is thinking about starting sleep training, or if you know, wow, this is a lot of love, thank you. If you know someone that has tried it and it somewhat failed because they didn't put a plan together, highlight their name, make sure that they get to watch this video because it's super important. Hey Larissa, hi honey. So next part is 5. Recapping again, is we're talking about 10 steps on how to create a sleep plan, and it is how much it is my sleep plan that I put together. So I'm going through over just 10 steps that we're going to be talking about on how to do that. Sarah, thank you so much. That means the world to me. I love you too. Hey Laranat. So okay, now let's see, where are we? Because I wrote down all the steps. I wanted to make sure that I went one by one. Hey Krufa! Okay, so let's recap because we're getting a lot of people joining on right now. First one is your 10 steps for your creating your sleep plan. The first one is make sure you're well informed on how much sleep your baby needs. 2, pick a sleep coaching method. If you are just signing on, I need you to watch the replay because I go into details in what each one is and why you need them, okay? Third one is get rid of all sleep associations. 4th, make sure that your child's schedule is age appropriate. 5, pick a start date. I know that sounds cliche and you're like, hey, oh, I said that. Hey, Levranit. That's beautiful. So what was I saying? Completely went off course. Oh, pick a date, pick a start date. So it's super important for you to pick a start date. I know that it sounds really cliche and you're like, oh, Carolina, I know, I have to pick a start date, blah, 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 blah. No, you really need to pick a start date, circle it, highlight it, color it with your favorite lipstick color. I don't care what you do. Pick a date when you're going to do it and stick to it. If you say this weekend I'm going to start, have your plan, right? So here I write all of my sleep plans in here. Have a nice journal, have, you know, a memo pad, something that is strictly for your notes, for sleep diaries. And make sure that you set a date. It's super important for you to tell yourself, okay, you know what? I have a deadline and this is when I'm going to start. And you give yourself a certain time frame, a realistic time frame, not 2 days, not 3 days. Thank you so much, guys, for the flow, the river of love. Oh, this is so exciting. So make sure that you give yourself a realistic time frame in when you're going to be sleep training. Usually it's 2 weeks to 1 month. That's like a minimum of a time. And of course, putting in consideration if your little one does get sick or if something gets thrown off balance, then you, okay, I'm getting really thrown off here with all this love. So you really want to make sure that you pick a date and you feel comfortable in when you're going to do it. Also, that you have your partner, if you have a nanny, if you have grandparents, whoever else is being part of the plan or is helping you during the day or at night with your little one going to sleep, knows the plan too. So if you need to photocopy it, highlight it, paint it on the wall, I don't care what you have to do, make sure each person gets a copy of it and they all understand what they are doing. Your child needs one straight story, not 6, not 10, not, oh, I'll try this, let's see if it works, blah, blah, blah. No, they need one straight story if you're going to achieve your goals. And you have to know what your goals are. You can't expect your child, if you've been sleeping with them in the same bed and you've been breastfeeding them for so long, that in 1 week you want them completely weaned off and you want them sleeping in their own bed and all you have to do is kiss them goodnight and say sweet dreams. No, most likely that's not going to happen because that's not realistic, right? It's kind of like you saying, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds in 3 days. How are you going to do that in 3 days unless you chop half of your body off? It's not going to work that way. You want to make sure that you are creating realistic goals, a realistic time, and a realistic sleep plan. Don't go la-di-da-di on me. You really need to know what you want and how you're going to achieve it, because it's super important to get as clear as possible and have as much clarity on when you're creating a sleep plan, right? You guys probably didn't know that it was so much intensified work, but it is. Because you want to, if you're investing your time into this, you want to do it once and you want to do it correctly, right? You don't want to keep repeating the process over and over again. So step 6 is prepare the environment where your child is going to be sleeping. You want to make sure that they're sleeping in one consistent sleeping space and not all over the house. You don't want them sleeping in the living room for naps or the kitchen for naps or the closet if you don't have a room for naps, and then bedtime they're going to start off in their crib and then after 12 o'clock they're going to end up in your bedroom. You need one consistent sleeping space. So if you want them sleeping in their own bed, that's where they have to sleep, in their own bed and not anywhere else. And you have to stay consistent to that, okay? That's the hardest part. And that's where I also get lots of parents telling me, Carolina, my kid hates their crib. No, they don't hate their crib. What happens is they only know one way in falling asleep, and however you're putting your child to sleep right now is what they're used to. So if you stay consistent with putting them in their own bed, but you being part of the process, that's what they're going to get used to. And that's going to be their new norm. That's going to be their new normal, right? So you just need to stay consistent with whatever plan that you're implementing. Next, step 7. We get establish a plan for the middle of the night. Ooh. So it's really important to do that. And you know, sometimes it might be really easy for you to put your little one to sleep. It's easy peasy, you know, maybe like a couple of minutes, maybe 10, 15 minutes. But then when the middle of the night happens, like shit hits the fan at that point, because you know it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you're exhausted, and what you're most likely going to do is cave in and put them to sleep with you, or go back to how you used to put them to sleep. So what you have to do is make sure that you put a plan together. What are you going to do? What kind of approach are you going to implement when they do wake up in the middle of the night? How are you going to help them go back to sleep without going back to your old routine, right? Because you need to create change in order to have something to change. And if you are if you're going back and forth, your baby's going to get confused, and that's not going to help anyone. It's going to stress you out, it's going to stress the baby out, and everything just goes down the drain. So step 8 is write down your plan. Simple, right? Write it down. Don't have it up on here. You have so much info here throughout the day that you just can't keep everything straight, and you need to write stuff down. I have things written everywhere. Like, I used to have post-it notes all over my apartment. It just got really bad, so I just stopped doing it, and now I have one organized spreadsheet of everything that I need to do. Make sure you write down your sleep plan. Don't keep it in your head and say, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do if he wakes up. This is what I'm going to do if she wakes up, and I'm going to put them down at this time. Naps are going to be here. Naps are going to be at this time. No, have it written down in a nice format, broken down. So nighttime is going to be this section. Here's the schedule in what times he is going to be sleeping, and this is the approach I'm going to do for naps. This is the approach I'm going to do for bedtime, and this is how we're going to get rid of these associations. Keep it nice and easy for yourself. Step 9, keep a diary. It doesn't mean the plan. The plan is something completely different. Keeping a sleep diary is super duper important. That's how you're going to see any type of patterns that can start forming. So you would write down on your diary what time they fell asleep, what time you put them down, how their mood was. Mood is super important, because most kids, if they're cranky pants when they wake up from their nap or from nighttime, that means that they didn't get sufficient amount of sleep. So they're still exhausted, and that's why they're most likely, that is why they're crying. And if they are super duper hyper before you put them to bed, that can also mean that you've passed their sleep window as well. So being cognizant of what is going on when you have to put them to bed, like how tired they get, around what time they get, what are their tired cues. Remember how I always talk about tired versus overtired. So knowing their tired cues versus their overtired cues is super important on that. And then step 10 is start. Make sure you start. And I know that that's kind of like, okay, Carolina, really? You had to include that? Yeah, I had to include that, because once you write your sleep plan and you write everything down, you have everything, you have your plan. It's hard to actually implement it and then say, okay, you know what? January 1st, this is what I'm going to do. And you actually have to start it. That's the hardest thing, is actually to begin the process. And having a coach by your side can really help you with that. And it can really get you elevated to achieve your goals, as opposed to you in your head and doing it yourself. So if you guys have tried putting a sleep plan together and it hasn't clicked, or you kind of want me to see where you need to kind of tweak things around that, feel free to message me, or even better, schedule a free sleep strategy session with me. I put my calendar up on top of this post, and just call me and let's schedule some things so that we can put a sleep plan together. So let's see, do you guys have any questions? Because I'm done with my 10 steps for creating a sleep plan. And let me scroll to see who has questions. And if you have any type of specific topics that you want me to talk about, feel free to PM me, or you can email me at itsme@achievewithcarolina.com. Let's see. Oh, Ala, it took you years to have your little ones. Oh, Mazel Tov, congratulations. Oh, that's such a blessing. Aw, I didn't read that, sorry. Angelica, you are super grateful for a bunch of things and very happy that I can be. That is, it's beautiful. Let's see. Nicole, can you have a night sleep plan even if you are not controlling their day sleep? Yes. So you can still control their day sleep, Nicole, during the weekends, because that's your own time. Daycare, you still want to make sure that you know when your little one is taking their nap and if they took their nap, because nighttime is a reflection of daytime sleep. So daytime stays consistent, nighttime fluctuates. So if naps sucked that day, bedtime is going to be much earlier. So what you can do is still keep a sleep diary. You always want to make sure that you have the daytime incorporated, so then you know what time bedtime is going to be. And also you have control over weekends. Make sure that, you know, you don't just have like a vacation off on the weekends if you're trying to sleep train your little one. So you have to stay consistent. If you're ready to sleep train, you have to focus on at least 2 weeks on staying consistent, and that includes weekends. That means naps have to be at the same time. So if they have a specific time frame in daycare, that you're repeating that same process and making sure that your little one is getting the proper amount of sleep during the day in daycare. Larenit, that was your husband? Hi, husband. Ala says, lately my boy twin wakes up at 3 a.m. and won't go back to sleep unless he is in a bouncy seat. How old is your little one? And a bouncy seat. I hope that he's an infant. If he's way older, let me know, because he should not be bouncing in anything at 3 a.m. That, I want to find out more on that. And he must eat 2 ounces. Yeah, so let me know how, 5 months. Okay, so eating is fine. Again, up until 9 months, you can still be feeding a child. It's normal to do that unless your doctor gives you a green light and tells you, hey, no more feeding at night. That's it. Gotta go. So then you would put a plan together on that. If they are, you know, unless they medically need it, then you can continue on doing that. But as far as taking them out and putting them in the bouncy seat, I think that no, it doesn't bounce, just vibrates. Okay, so then vibrating means that they like motion, and that is going to create an association for your little one. She said no more feedings at 2 months. Okay, so you are most likely giving the feeds because you don't know how else to put your little one to sleep, and the feeding does put her to sleep, plus the motion. And those are 2 associations that I would want you to start focusing on how to eliminate them, because the older she's going to get, the more ingrained those habits are going to be, and you're not going to get an independent sleeper if that is your goal. And most likely that probably is. Oh, exactly. Okay, so yeah, so that's exactly what's going on. Let's see. So as far as the feeding, I would just cut cold turkey, because 2 ounces is so little. It's like nor here nor there. It's just kind of like a top off. And as far as the bouncy seat, you're probably putting her in it because you're feeding her and you don't want to hold her. So the bouncy seat just kind of elevates her. You stop turning on the vibrating as she still loves it. Yeah, so I hate those bouncy chairs with the vibration on them. My kids had them, but I never turned them on, only because it's annoying. So I never use that little button. But I would really want you to focus on putting her to sleep. Oh, he? You keep writing she. Okay, so I'll say he, because on the top you wrote she. So he, your son, I would put the plan together in eliminating those night feeds totally. Just do cold turkey. It'll be easy peasy for you. Maybe like a couple of nights of a couple of cries here or there. But you need to focus on, oh, she, pediatrician. Oh man, okay. So he, your son, she, your pediatrician. You know, this is complicated, these typings. Okay, so your son, we will eliminate the feedings, and you can do that cold turkey, or you can diminish them by doing half an ounce each. I would just suggest doing cold turkey because it's easier right now. 2 ounces is nothing. And I would eliminate taking him out of the crib and trying to put him back to sleep while he is in the crib. There are so many methods out there that you can just utilize. Google some stuff, and if you can't find anything or it's just too cumbersome for you, then I would just highly suggest to use the appointment button, my calendar that I put up on top, and just schedule a free sleep strategy session with me, and then we could kind of put you on a better, track on how to put something together for you, because I don't want him to get older and start to have more associations in how he's falling asleep. Kind of want to nip this in the bud as it is right now because he's so little. Cool. Hope that helps, honey. Let's see who else had questions. Hey, David. Hi, Patricia. Let's see. Laranit. I love that. Your little one is 15.5 weeks. Congratulations. Welcome to mommyhood. I finally just got him to go to sleep without rocking. Now I want him on a schedule. Is it too early? Yes, it's too early. So usually around 16.5 weeks. Of course, you want to put into consideration if your little one was born close to the due date, then you would do, 16, 17 weeks. You would start to put them on a schedule. Because right now, he doesn't have any type of organized sleep patterns as of yet. So by you putting together a schedule, you're kind of hitting luck, really, because there's no pattern that has formed. So if you're trying to put him on a schedule, it can work, it may not work. So I really don't want you to stress over it. Just kind of make sure that you're following his tired cues and putting him down to sleep whenever he needs to go to bed. After he turns 16 to 17 weeks, then start to keep a sleep diary for yourself and create a schedule. If you do need help with that, I'm here for you. Just schedule something with me, and then we can always go over that and then check some stuff. Let's see. Who else got questions? My pleasure, Ala. And you said Laranit, he was born at 39 weeks. Okay, yeah, so 16, 17 weeks, you would start to put together a sleep plan and a schedule for yourself. So does anyone have any questions? Let's see what time this is. Oh, we're doing good. Angie says, my son is 7 months. He only falls asleep if he is breastfed. Otherwise, he will keep crying even though I see that he's super tired. Okay, so with breastfeeding, it's really hard, but it's totally doable. So what I would want you to do is focus on 2 things. One is, does he need the feeds? Is there a medical reason that he needs the feeds? If not, then I would start eliminating the breastfeeding by creating a schedule for yourself. You don't want to feed him on demand at night, because then a child becomes very dependent, and whenever they get antsy, or if something doesn't go their way, they automatically look for the breast because that becomes their soothing technique, right? So what I would want you to do is schedule at least 2 night feeds, and the other times that he does wake up, you're not going to feed him, but you're going to put him to sleep. You're going to help him go back to sleep in a gradual approach. That's one thing that I want you to do. Two is, why is he waking up anyway? I want you to look into his schedule and see, is there a gap somewhere that when he's taking his naps, bedtime might be too late, or he's not taking really good naps, maybe they're like too short and then you have to make bedtime earlier. The schedule is really important. I really want you to focus on, why is he even waking up in the middle of the night? It can't be because he's hungry, because usually kids around that age are not genuinely hungry. It's more out of a habit, more out of a I want this as opposed to I need this. So I would really want you to focus on the schedule too. You said he definitely doesn't need it, and the feeds he just uses to, yeah, so he just uses to calm down. So because he's still young, if this doesn't, like the breastfeeding isn't structured, what can happen, and I've seen this quite often because I've been doing this for quite some time already, is that children start to use the breast as their calming mechanism during the day as well. So if a child does become a little anxious, or you know, a toy is taken away from them and they don't like it, then they'll start searching for the breast in order to calm themselves down right away. So what I would want you to do is structure the feeds and make sure that he understands, okay, so this time, you know, at midnight, this is the only time that I'm going to eat. And then at 2 in the morning, this is the only time I'm going to eat. Have it structured first, and then after that, you would put in a plan together in when he does wake up in the middle of the night and you're not feeding him, how are you going to help him go back to bed? Plus, the schedule is super important because we need to get down to the root of why he's even waking up at night. There has to be a reason, and usually that reason is a misbalance, is an imbalance in the schedule, where it's not synchronized with his biological rhythms, meaning the internal sleep clock. So that's kind of where I would want you to focus on. If everything that I just told you just went right over your head, easy, just contact me on my calendar above, schedule a free appointment with me, and then we'll kind of go a little more into depth with it, with that. But mainly, I really want you to focus on the schedule in why he's even waking up at night. Once you figure that part out, the nighttime wakings should diminish significantly, and all you have to focus on then is just eliminating those night feeds. So it's 2. I don't want you to have more than 2. By 9 months, it should be 1, and then after 9 months, all those feeds should be totally gone. Okay? Anyone else have questions? Take another sip. I bought this new candle from Harlow and Bentley. It's called White Tea Lang Lang. This smells unbelievable. It is so good. So when I do my videos, I like to have some kind of a candle. Let me turn this off. So I like to have some kind of a candle or flowers, just something kind of, you know, relaxing and feminine. So, you know, just me. Anyone else have any type of questions? Oh, where did I buy the candle? It was actually in Williamsburg at some sort of a fair like 2 months ago. But you can go on, where is it? You can get them online. Harlow and Bentley. Harlow and the ampersand. Bentley, Bentley. It's called White Tea and Lang Lang. I don't know if you guys are seeing this backwards. That's it. It smells unbelievable. I just love it. I don't want to put my nose to it because I don't want, yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't want to put my nose to it because I'm going to burn it. I'm going to burn the tip of my nose. Yeah, and one cool thing that I learned about candles is that when they burn, make sure that it's made out of soy. The base should be soy, and also that it shouldn't have any black like flames or something, or black like gunk. You want it to be clear, because if it has like black stuff on it, then it's like no-go, it's not healthy. And this has one of the purest essential oils that's put in. So Lang Lang is it's a stress reliever, so it calms you down. It's a natural relaxant. and they put that in with white tea, and it says it's a hand poured soy candle. Go figure. I don't know, but it smells divine. So any other questions? Guess not. Okay, so I guess tonight's video is over. Because yesterday I didn't do one, I'm gonna do one on Thursday. So tonight, tomorrow, and Thursday for 10 p.m. And every day I'm going to start asking you, what are you grateful for, when I begin the videos, because it's really important for us to every day remind ourselves what we're grateful for, and stay humble at that part. Okay, so sweet dreams everyone. I love you, and see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye.